Welcome back to the SPL with Tasteless and GTR. We're going on into our second match today.
DJ versus Junior.
That's right, GTR.
And I'm really curious to see how this game plays out because CJ and Junior are two teams that have really small rosters. I believe they have maybe 6 players on their team, which means
that's correct.
There's less variety of what you can see from the lineup of both teams.
It's really about as small as a team in Pro League can be. Because, I mean, granted, there are days where one player is sick, right? Then you're really limited by who you want to select. But at the same time, they do have very solid lineups.
Yes, despite the fact that there's a reason why they have these small lineups is because they have a lot of good players on them. And CJ, you've got a lot of superstars like ByuL, Hero, Byung.
Sure.
Junior has Maru, SOS, Rogue, Creator. It's the star-studded lineup. You can't look at the Junior lineup and look at every player and say that guy's just like not that great of a player. They're all great players on their teams.
And so it really does come down to a few very intense high-level matches that, frankly, are pretty hard to guess the outcome of.
Yeah.
You know?
As we've got a lot of good games here between the individual games between CJ and Junior here today. We'll get to them as that graphic shows up, but both these teams are sort of struggling right now. Although Junior is 3rd place, they were runners-up last year. CJ enters at the bottom 3 of this season so far, so they really want to get this win to try and get back into this title race.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. This is actually one of the more important matches here at SPL for sure.
Yeah.
These two teams, both very solid. Whoever comes out on top has a much better shot overall in the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, especially considering the fact that we do not have Pro League tomorrow because it is a public holiday.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It does mean that there's a bit of a lull in the Pro League games waiting till next week, so
no StarCraft 2 tomorrow. That's your time to play,
yes,
okay?
play StarCraft 2 while we have a public holiday here in Korea.
That's right. We'll all have the day off, and also Wednesday, GSL Code S Thursday. We have the SSL. You and I are going to be doing that. And then on Friday, GSL Code S again. So I know normally we do have StarCraft 2 out here, a very special holiday in Korea. Anyways, on to our matchups today. It's going to start out ByuL versus Rogue, then Funny versus Maru. After that, Hero versus SOS. And if we do go to a 4th match, Ragnarok against Trap.
ByuL versus Rogue is one of the more intriguing matchups because Rogue, as you can see with that downward arrow, he has been in a slump. He played in that Code S group with Taja and Zest.
It was pretty sad, actually.
It was like a really, it was not characteristic of Rogue to go out like that because, especially that game against Taja, he just played really poorly, and we'll see if he's bounced back from that.
You know, it's scary too, because when I was casting it, I could really see how sad he was, how upset he was with his results, and even after that, he hasn't played too terribly well. So I'm curious to see how he's going to perform today here. But you got to factor in the last few games we've had. And obviously, you know, Rogue, somebody who wants to keep improving himself. So hopefully he can do it here today. ByuL, a player who's very accomplished in StarCraft 2 overall, and has had some pretty good recent results as well.
Yeah, even though he has been eliminated from Code A/S, as I don't know what happened here. Just let me fix this thing.
All right, we have to relog into the game. We got dropped there, but yeah, ByuL not doing incredibly well in individual leagues, but he has had some good results here in Pro League.
Yep.
Again, here at ZVZ, it's tough to say who's actually better. It looks like a little bit more faith here in the generic Green Wings player, Rogue, from the team, but we'll have to see, man. I mean, one ZVZ, anything can happen, you know?
Yeah, and especially on a map like Prion Terraces, those gold bases cause a lot of crazy builds. And, it's actually really dead even between these two players. So I honestly think this game was a coin flip because Rogue might be out of his hoodoo and might be able to win this game.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Not surprisingly, casters all across the board are siding with ByuL here, and I think that is because of the shocking recent results here. From Rogue,
but that's been a reason.
Has been abysmal.
That's been a reason why Junior is still sending him out, even though he's got poor results. So,
well, I don't think he's an overall bad player. He just seems to be in a sudden, like we're in the middle of a slump.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes slumps make the player better, stronger. They humble them, make them, you know, train even harder. Other times it can be the, you know, beginning of the corrosion of their skill and their ability to perform on a big stage.
Yep. So we'll just have to wait and see whether Rogue can come out of his slump or stay in it.
All right, guys, this is game number 1. CJ versus Janair Green Wings. ByuL against Rogue. All right, over here in the upper left, in the red, it is ByuL. And in the bottom right, in the blue, Rogue. So, I think first and foremost, GTR, we really need to talk about this map and how it impacts not just Zerg in general, but ZVZ. You have a gold base right there at your natural. You'd be crazy not to take that. Of course, you also can get another gold base for your second. So it does change the way ZVZ looks overall. You know, normally you see 2-base servers, 2-base Zerg, you know what to expect. The balance tends to shift a little bit there when you have all those additional minerals coming in, but not necessarily immediately other hatches coming in to help produce.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Prion Terraces, whatever you want to call it. Oh, actually, before I go into my thought, Rogue's actually taking this base at the right side, which is third base. He's actually triple expanding.
Yeah,
here.
he's doing a triple hatch. That's right.
Very risky play here, but it's going to work out for him because ByuL's only just started his spawning pool, and that's a really bold move there from Rogue.
Let's see if it does work out. This is what makes this map so weird, right? Like, I don't think he will instantly be killed here, but at the same time, it's not easy to balance these 3 bases. You know, this is a third base that's a bit far away. We'll have to also see what are the scouting patterns exactly here from ByuL, because when you look at it for ByuL, is his Overlord necessarily going to go to that third base immediately? Maybe not, right?
Yeah, like he
also, sorry, I don't mean to run over you. He also just gets a slight boost. He gets his drones here to the gold base earlier because the build is a little bit different, which means a slight boost in minerals incoming. That can fan out into a pretty big factor here.
Yeah, we just have to wait and see how this plays out, because having that extra hatchery being unscouted could be what wins Rogue the game, because if ByuL's not aware what's happening with that third base, and the longer that ByuL allows Rogue to get a queen up there, even if it's not mining, you can still get the lava from that base, you can keep injecting it.
Right.
And those are extra units that Rogue can use to spend on Zerglings or Queens or whatever build unit that he decides to use, and that might end up winning the game for ByuL. As you see, actually a hatchery in the main.
Wow, a macro hatch.
A macro hatch 2 minutes into the game.
2 minutes, yeah, no.
I thought I'd never say that.
Okay. Peekaboo.
I see you.
He sees that third base. That's right.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how he reacts to this.
This is where we see how the algorithm in his mind is going to work for ByuL here, and how he plays this, because he knows that this game is not going to go well if he doesn't get something up very quickly. Now we see the Evo chamber. Is this for some droppery? Not sure. Maybe for some kind of an attack upgrade with a timing here.
Yes, a Baneling nest as well. Actually, was that a Baneling nest, or was it actually an Evo chamber? I'm not too sure about that.
Go ahead and check on the preview PC.
No, that's actually Baneling nest.
No, it's ByuL that's getting the Evo.
Oh, okay, so...
Wait, double check. Are we crazy?
Oh, it's right here. It's actually getting Carapace quickly, so...
All right. And he's going to get Roach Warren. Now, remember, you actually are going to have such a surplus of minerals, you can get a pretty scary amount of roaches that you might not be able to get otherwise. At the same time, though, the longer that Rogue has this third base, I mean, he's already ahead in supply, okay?
And he's
actually getting more and more money here, too. So, I'm not totally sure. Guys, I just don't know how this quite works yet. This map is still quite new to me, especially in ZVZ. So, let's go ahead and learn this all together here.
Oh, he canceled something as well.
He canceled the Evo chamber.
I think he was expecting maybe a Speedling all-in, but seeing that he's actually just droning up... No. He kept the second Evo.
Okay.
Oh, it must have...
he was just afraid of exactly this, which would be all these lings coming up here.
But he should be able to transfuse that queen. Does that queen not have anything?
He doesn't have energy.
And now this queen's actually going to come in, and it's going to die to these Zerglings, but these Zerglings actually coming out from
Yeah, there's a lot of Zerglings coming out, though, but he does get 2 Queens, and 2 Queens is definitely something, my friend.
I mean, maybe it's some lost inject time there, or maybe some lost creep tumors, but it's... In this state of the game right now, it's just very, very strange because of the way the map is right now.
He's going to try to end this, okay? His link speed's about to get done, and armor, okay? Now, I don't know exactly what this timing looks like, but I think it's clearly intended to bust a 3-base Zerg. Now, even though he got those Queens, he did lose some Lings trying to come up there and do that. Of course, Banelings are coming up here, which is another factor.
He needs to kill this hatchery. He needs to kill
Really nice around there. He's going to see these Banelings down here at the bottom. More Lings are coming up right now.
These Banelings are going to hatch, though. Gets a few hits. We'll see. Oh, it doesn't get the hits that he needs, and these Zerglings are doing a lot of damage, and he's going to go for these Roaches. I think he should have just tried to snipe that hatchery.
I'm not sure how much that armor is going to help against Banelings. That's what I don't get.
It's nil, because you're always going to one-shot those Zerglings. But it might mitigate the damage that he's taking from those Roaches, but...
yeah, but I mean, it just seems like a Baneling's Nest counters this.
Yeah.
Now, what is it? 33 workers for ByuL, 43 workers for Rogue. So Rogue is sitting pretty right now.
Now, ByuL's trying to catch back into this game because he knows he can't outright kill Rogue in this situation, especially with those Banelings out. So Rogue's sitting really pretty right now.
A lot more Lings are going to be massed up here. I'm sorry. I'm at a loss here. I don't understand what ByuL can possibly do. The unit comp is much more sophisticated here for Rogue than for ByuL.
As we see here,
it just doesn't seem to be. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not sure what exactly you're supposed to do here. And Rogue is, by the way, quickly becoming much bigger in every possible aspect of Zerg than ByuL is.
He's getting Ravagers out, but those Ravagers is not enough to deflect this army of Rogue, and especially with Rogue sitting on these... Oh, he's got extra Lings there as well to do a counterattack if he needs to.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has everything, right? I don't see what I mean, ByuL's already playing from a deficit. I think, you know, Rogue's build kind of hard-countered what ByuL did. ByuL didn't find that third base until his Lings came up there, but it seemed as though ByuL looked at this and thought, okay, time for the X build, whatever that is. And he starts getting the Lings and the armor, and then after we see the attack commence, didn't seem to do much. But ByuL's very good. He's very adaptable. Let's see how he plays this from here.
Yeah, it felt like when Rogue got that Baneling Nest, the only purpose of that Baneling Nest was to build Banelings in the case that ByuL did attack like that. And Rogue kind of read ByuL perfectly there, as ByuL's trying to catch up here, taking that third base, but it might be too little too late. We'll see how this game turns out. I
do like the Ravagers coming out on the map and taking out these Overlords. This is actually giving a lot more map control over here to ByuL. Oh, he's going to come down here. He spots the Lings that are down there.
Yeah, nice pick off there from ByuL, and forces Rogue away from that corner, so he can't do any run buys. As we see, really interesting composition from both players. We see Rogue Baneling Ravager here from Rogue, as ByuL just going for heavy Lings with those Ravagers as his backup. So if ByuL can snipe those Banelings with those Ravagers, he can do a lot of damage with these Zerglings.
Yeah, that's possible. Let's see here. The supplies are in the lead right now for Rogue, but it looks like their army size is actually almost the same.
As you see, an actually nice run by here from ByuL. Doesn't actually really do that much damage.
Yeah, you saw the whole position micro attempted to be used there. We have ByuL coming down now.
As we see,
Lings going to come up here for a counterattack. It looks like these Lings over here for ByuL should be ready.
But I don't think it's enough. These are way too many Lings for ByuL there for Rogue to defend. And it looks like he's going to try and slap this expansion out. He actually doesn't get to cancel that.
No, I think he did not get to cancel that.
No, he didn't get to cancel that.
Yeah, he did not. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood you. Yeah. So that was a pretty good play. He gets the Queen over there. Meanwhile, an attack over here. So far, ByuL's defense pretty damn good. But again, a number of drones here from Rogue is absolutely terrifying. We have Banelings coming up right now. They're going to go over these drones!
Oh, so much damage there. 12 drones. And
big
look at
plays.
The weapon count as well. 24 drones to 56. I think ByuL has to kill Rogue here right
hold
now.
Hold on. We have Corrosive Vials connected in the middle here. And so many Lings with the Ravagers. Remember, these Lings do have armor. I think you can Corrosive Vial in the middle. I've never quite seen this like this. I have to say the Corrosive Vials are really being optimized. A lot of damage. It just does seem like Rogue should just have too much.
I think defender's advantage here. Rogue can just re-rally units.
That's it.
GG.
That's it. GG.
I mean, ByuL had to do that attack, especially with those Banelings coming into that third base of ByuL, taking out all those drones.
That was really interesting to see the mass Lings, because you can see that there's no way to run away from Corrosive Vial, but in the end, I mean, the Roaches are just too many, too strong.
I think behind the mass Zerglings is that you can surround that army, and then because your opposing Zerg player can't move out of that surround, you can use those corrosive vials to just circle around your opponent and just get those perfect hits. But I think ByuL had the right mindset to that game, but he just fell behind when...
Well, I think he went for the wrong build back there. I mean, that just seemed like... ByuL did not seem to be in a good spot after that.
Yeah.
And it definitely seems like Zerg just has an answer when they do have Roaches and Banelings. No matter how much finesse and agility you have, against stuff like that with Lings, I mean, it's much easier for the defender to hold that.
But it's good to see, though, Rogue taking that win. He definitely needed that win, especially against a really good opponent like ByuL. That's definitely sure to increase his confidence coming into the rest of Pro League for this season. Yeah,
well, that much is very true, man. I mean, there's no way otherwise. So, big plays there for Rogue. I believe, what is up next? It's SOS?
I think it's...
Oh, no, that might be our third game, actually.
We'll check the sheet right now.
Hold up, I actually have tons of papers on me right now. But anyways, yeah, I mean, let's actually see what these guys are going to be able to pull off
Bunny
right now.
Bunny
versus Mario, that's right. I was so excited about the SOS match. I was like, wait a minute, that can't be right. There's something else in there.
You saw SOS behind him, yeah.
Yeah, and that immediately made me think of it, and I thought that doesn't necessarily mean anything, though. Okay, Bunny versus Mario. I expect everybody voted Bunny here.
Bunny? You think Bunny?
I mean Mario, sorry.
I was like,
whoa.
I was like,
I've been thrown off here in the last minute. Yeah, Mario playing phenomenally right now. Bunny's certainly a good player, but Mario is
Bunny actually made his Code S group, I believe, so...
So he's a very, very good player.
Yeah.
But Mario is just looking so hot right now.
I mean, Mario hasn't really performed well in the SSL. I mean, did he qualify for Code S? I'm not too sure about that, but...
He's doing very well right now. Yeah, I mean, he's dominating.
I think it took some time for him to gel back into Legacy of the Void, but now we're seeing the results from him.
It's also interesting because you have players that are better in long matches where they have many games to try to download their opponent, and not just Mario, but SOS is also quite good at that as well. Best of ones are harder, I would say, for Junior at times.
Yeah, there's much more Like honestly, I think it's
a different kind of preparation.
It's better. Yeah, you have to prepare in a unique way compared to, say, a best of 3 or best of 5 that you encounter in the individual leagues. And also you have the backing of your team to help you out prepare for that best of 1. So it's a different dynamic. And Bunny is outmatched by Mario on paper, but anything can happen.
But I mean, you could do some kind of weird cheese. Yeah. There's a lot of different stuff that that you could pull out. So Mario, I think, should win this, though. I mean, that would be pretty weird if he didn't. Also, though, just going back to that last game, what you said is very true. It is exciting to see Rogue actually playing and winning again, because I was getting pretty used to Rogue being a guy who was always going to be around, and especially in his recent Code S games.